Who's protecting the children? Welcome to another podcast or another episode of Spin Cycle America. Real conversations, real issues, common ground, where the facts come alive and the truth is told. So let's get started. So, are your kids safe? So, in 2020, the governor of California signed a bill that basically states that a minor at the age of 14 could have consensual sex with an adult. How would you feel if your child was sexually assaulted at that age? Would it be his word against the predator's word if they were sexually assaulted? So let's dive into this subject. I'll ask you again, are your kids safe? So today I want to talk about something that should unite every parent, grandparent, coach, teacher, and citizen in America: protecting children. This isn't a Republican issue. It isn't a Democratic issue. It isn't conservative or liberal issue. It's a moral issue. Our kids need to be safe. They need to feel safe. They need to know they are protected. Children deserve the protection from exploitation, abuse, trafficking, predators who seek to take advantage of their innocence. And they're all over out there. My gosh, I didn't realize how much until a show or an episode that I watched the other day. It was alarming. This is unreal. We need to do something about it. The problem is that some people turn a blind eye on this. This can go far deeper than just sexual misconduct. Throughout the next week, I'm going to touch on different aspects of this. As a coach, I have spent several years with young players, young people. I've watched them grow, struggle, learn, mature, and one thing becomes clear, very clear. When you're around teenagers every day, they are still kids. They're still vulnerable. They still need protection. They still look up to adults. They are still learning how this world works. And that's a frightening thought if you look in the world today with the way the Democrats and the Republicans are battling each other. And they're like, what is going on with this world? This is the world they're about to inherit. And we still are giving them problems. And they need adults willing to stand up for them. And we can't even fight for ourselves at times if you see the Democrats and the Republicans fighting. We need to be that adult that can stand up and protect them, be that voice for them. So, the reality of sexual predators: sex offenders and child predators leave damage that can never, or that can last a lifetime. It can never change. It can stay there for the rest of their life till the day they die. The victim often carries emotional scars, trust issues. They won't trust anybody ever again. Anxiety, depression, trauma, long after the crime itself is over, even to the point of committing suicide or committing the same act on someone else. We need to break this chain. When discussions about criminal justice happen, we often focus on the offender. But what about the victim? Come on, people. The victim is the person we need to focus on. What can we do to help this person? They're the innocent ones, not the predator. They're the ones, not the offender. They're the ones we need to throw the book at. They're the ones that need to go to jail. What about the child whose life was changed forever? they're never going to be the same. 10 years old, 12 years old, 13, they're never going to be the same. What about the family left trying to pick up the pieces? Who's going to help them? The conversation should always begin there. Accountability matters. A civilized society protects its most popular or most valuable members, and that's its kids. That means laws must hold its offenders accountable. Our children are the most valuable resource that we have, that this country has. And I'll mention it several more times before I'm finished today. It means law enforcement needs the resources to investigate crimes against children. It means courts must take these crimes seriously. We can't let our predators out. We can't be lenient on these predators. There's too many judges. There's judges in Texas that were lenient on sex offenders. There's judges in Illinois that were lenient on sex offenders. Come on, let's be real. And it means communities should remain vigilant. We need to take these crimes seriously. Protecting children isn't about politics, it's about responsibility. It means judges should be held accountable for their acts as well, meaning showing leniency towards the sex offenders. That should be a negative. They should not be allowed to do that. If they do, they should be held responsible just as much. These kids are our most valuable resource. They need to be treated as such, not as the criminal. They're not the criminal. They didn't do anything wrong. In many of these cases, this could be caused by a family member or a close friend. We owe it to our kids to help them, to stand up for them, to be their voice. And in many cases, we turn our back on them. We don't want to believe it was somebody close to them. We don't want to believe it was a particular person. We think just because they're 10 years old or 11 years old that they're lying. Get to know your kids. Get to know your child. They will tell you the truth. Stand up for them. The bill which was passed in California is like opening up the door for predators to move in. I cannot, in my mind, as a mother, understand how sex between a 24-year-old and a 14-year-old could ever be consensual. How could it ever not be registrable offense? Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, Democrat senator of San Diego, said before the bill passage, we should never give up on this idea that children should be in no way subject to a predator. She was right on target. How could we pass this type of bill? So the bill passed by all Democrats and 2 Republicans by a vote of 32. Gavin Newsom then signed this bill into law on September 11, 2020. How can this bill be president? How could this bill pass? There's no way this bill should have passed. That just opened up the door for predators to move on into California and say it's open season on minors. Because now it becomes his word against the predator's word. The door is open. And now we've also got, not only that, now you have the digital age, which creates a new form of danger. Today's predators don't always, or are not always lurking in the alleyways. They're now online. Every time your child gets online, that's where they are. They're hiding in gaming platforms, in messaging groups. Anonymous accounts have been created, new opportunities for exploitation. Parents face new challenges that previous generations never imagined. When I was a kid, we didn't have online stuff. We didn't. Our computers were just giant boxes, and we didn't have any of this stuff. That doesn't mean we need to panic. It means we need to pay attention as adults. It means parents need to stay involved. It means adults educate themselves about the technology children use every day. It means we as adults control our kids' technology platforms. We watch what they are getting into, and we use the parental controls that are there. We control all that stuff. We don't let our kids get into it unless we know what they're doing. We know where they're going. What parents what parents and communities can do as well as a whole. Protecting children start at home. Know who your child or your children are talking to. Monitor their online activities. I mentioned that earlier. Have honest conversation. Teach children about boundaries. Encourage them to report suspicious behavior. If they think something is strange online, then let them know. Make sure they let you know. Build trust with them so that they can come to you. There's too many kids out there that don't trust their parents for one reason or another, but you need to build that trust with your kids. Coaches, teachers, church leaders, and community members also have to have a role to play. When responsible adults work together, children are safe. You need to be able to communicate with your child to the point that if there is a problem or concern, they're able to come to you immediately. No delay. And they know it is never their fault. Never put the blame on your child. It is never their fault. The California law will and can make it out to be someone else's, or in some cases make the child's fault. That's what that basically just opened up that door to say now it's his word against your word. Whose fault is it? It's not going to be the child's fault. This is going to be thrown into courts all the time, and the judges get to decide whose fault it is. So, in closing, at the end of the day, protecting children should never be controversial. We may disagree on about our taxes. We may disagree about elections. We may disagree about government policy. But every decent person should agree on this. Children deserve protection. Predators deserve accountability. And society has a duty to stand up for those who cannot always protect themselves. If we lose sight of that, we have lost something far more important than policies. We've lost moral compass. I have said this before. As a child in this country, the greatest resources are our children. We have people fighting for climate control, but not fighting for our children. Then I think our priorities are messed up. We need to start thinking about our kids. The bill in California passed is one step closer to destroying our country. You cannot tell me that those people who passed that bill don't or didn't have children or grandchildren. They are thinking they are not thinking about the grand scheme of things. So if you have somebody or you know somebody who's been sexually assaulted and need help, you need to reach out and get some help. Here are some numbers and some hotlines that you can get. RAIN's National Sexual Assault Hotline, 1-800-656-4673 or 1-800-656-HOPE, or you can text HOPE to 644673, or the website is https://rain.org/help dash and dash healing /hotline. Don't wait to be the victim. reach out, get help. That's very important. And again, thank you for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please share with your family and friends. Hit the like button as well as the subscribe button below. You will you all stay safe out there and have an outstanding day. I'll catch you on the next episode of Spin Cycle America.